No, I am not the girl in the images. It's best to save your Twister at the last moment, because Harpy's Hunting Ground, when it activates, if you destroy it on Chain Link 2, a continuous spell or field spell needs to remain face up to resolve correctly. That goes for like Mask of Accursed or Burning Land. Yeah, the new Chaos Magician is pretty good in Bluff Trap. If you're using any deck that uses tributes, like regular tributes, then the Chaos Magician's good, because it counters Relinquished. What deck will I be making with the new Card Trader cards? I think one of the best cards that came from the Card Trader is the new Doom Dog. That may make Necrofear viable. In my Discord I've been showing a few builds of how I may build the Necrofear. It's gonna center around Skull Lair, and I believe the card is called Escape from a Dark Dimension, which could also work well with Invader Chaos. Yes, I believe Restart is the best for Gravekeepers after the Switcheroo nerf. It greatly increases your chance to open with Recruiter, because Gravekeepers is severely neutered without Recruiter in its opening. Yes, Gravekeepers without Double Summon is still good, but I feel they are better with Double Summon. If you don't play Double Summon, you have a lot more room for counter cards though. I would not recommend playing Gravekeepers without Soul Exchange though. Do I feel Chaos Necromancer is viable for a COG deck? I don't think Chaos Necromancer will make it into a competitive deck.
This card is useless. This card is useless.
Okay, how I feel about semi-limiting or limiting or banning any cards. I've played real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! For many years, so I have a good insight into the massive card pool that Konami has access to. So like anything you feel that's broken, they could, whenever they want, release cards to counter it. I think Konami right now is being very conservative because of the World Championship. So I would expect right after the World Championship that they're gonna, you know, we might get synchros really soon after that, maybe, I don't know. But if anything right now deserves to be hit by the ban list, probably Taya Burn, or maybe Taya Burn's skill. I think Harpy Hunting Ground is severely limiting for future card releases. I'm not saying Harpy Hunting Ground's overpowered, but you know, cards like Security Orb shows you that Konami is aware of what everyone's playing. Yeah, maybe we'll have Gladiators or Blackwings. I feel Konami is on a mission to make every deck that wasn't viable in real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! To be a good deck in this game. Because Harpies was never a good deck, Relinquished was not a deck. The way we play Gravekeepers now is nothing like how it's played in real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! The biggest thing for me to learn going into Duel Links was I had to throw out all my bias from real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! Any possible card that comes out has a chance to be good. I'm not a big fan of Pendulum, but I think Exceed Summoning is probably the best thing Konami added to Yu-Gi-Oh! It's very simple, you don't need tuners, you don't need all this crazy extra stuff. It's simple, you have 2 level 4s, put them on top of each other, and you get to summon from the extra deck. Last weekend she just started on a new medication, and she's been showing slight improvement, so we're hoping for the best. She's been seen by 15 doctors now. On Saturday, the CEO of a pharmaceutical company personally drove 3 hours to see us and hand her medication to her. Do I think it's worth to go through a bunch of packs to get the second and third Sonic Bird and Senju? I would hold off on that. If you're able to get King of Games without Relinquished, there's no rush. There's no big tournaments. There's nothing important going on right now. If the World Qualifiers happen, be ready. But, you know, I feel you could do well with just a Harpy deck, though. Yes, Security Orb is weak against Storm, but it is... I think it will see major play in the qualifiers. I think it will make a lot of Harpy players think twice about blowing up your back row. Do I feel 3 double summons are essential for Gravekeepers? I think it's the best way to play Gravekeepers. It's not essential though. If you don't play double summon, you can play more counter cards, like Possessed Dark Soul. If you really want double summon and you're getting unlucky, and you have 2, then I would say stop at 2.
This card is useless.
I believe overall, Enemy Controller is better than Security Orb, but Security Orb is a great option if you're missing enemy controllers. Or if you're playing 3 enemy controllers and you could add Security Orbs on top of it. Yeah, Magic Drain could be a good option in Gravekeeper decks. It's just, right now, Harpies is the safest deck to play back row with, because whenever they want, they could destroy both field spells if they have a Harpy. Will I stream more often now? I can't say for sure. This is pretty much like a test stream to see how it's going. Everything's dependent on time. Like, if you see me slow, if you see that I'm slow with releasing content, it's not because I'm out of ideas or anywhere near that. It's all about time. Rapid TV, I would play Harpy in your situation. Which box is the best one at the moment? If you are a free-to-play player, then the box with Sonic Duck, then the box with the 1750 guy if you don't have anything better than that, and then the Baboon box for Security Orb if you're a free-to-play player. What do I work with? I'm a medical lab scientist.
This card is useless.
Yep, 12 hours work, 3 days in a row. Then the other days I'm usually at the doctor's. The Harpy deck on my website is definitely good for King of Games, but you don't need that many mirror walls. Harpies is extremely versatile. There's like 10 different viable builds for Harpies. I use the Nox emulator. I think many old Yu-Gi-Oh players will be quick to say that no main phase 2 makes the game easier, but you can't just say it makes it easier. It also adds extra strategy. Like you saw right there with the 4-star Ladybug. It's like a mirror force. Because you can't attack to check and then summon more monsters in main phase 2. I feel 3 Egotist Harpy it's a bit too much, but it can work. Like I said, there's so many ways to play Harpies. If you have a good Harpy build, I don't think there's any other Harpy build that you'll switch to that will just make you much better with your Harpy deck. So if you're generally not doing well with Harpies, I don't think there's anything you could change with the deck that will just automatically make you better with them. I'll be updating the top deck list soon on my website. Maybe when I have free time at work, I'll be updating them. What I plan to do with the top decks is I'm gonna have lists that are much more versatile. So you could, I'm gonna leave empty spaces in the deck, and then I'm gonna leave good choices to put in, instead of specifically telling you a single version to play of the deck. It's like right now I have a listed of 3 mirror walls, which you obviously don't need. What do I think of the new dragon support? I don't think it's good enough yet. The new dragon card it's a great card, but dragons as a whole right now it's not ready. I don't think so. Am I a robot? Yes, I am Microsoft Sam. So Venus without switcheroo. That's Well, I think do I think Venus will still be viable with restart? I think so, because restart will increase your chance to open with Venus. So, if you get really unlucky and you have 2 shine balls in your hand, if you at least have something else to combo with your shine balls, you'll be set. Because the Venus decks, they really shine in the early game by overwhelming you with Venus, which will be more consistent now with restart. Okay, so you want to see my personal Harpy deck? My personal Harpy deck, I'm not ready to show yet, because I may use it for the qualifiers. So it has surprise factor in it. It's not like other Harpy decks. So I'm going to possibly use that to my advantage for now. Okay, if you promise to not tell, I'll show you. I have a free-to-play Harpy deck, which is not the deck I'm talking about, but I'll probably be releasing a free-to-play Harpy deck in the future for new players or people that aren't lucky enough to get order to charges. Tips for predicting cards. I think I'll make an extensive guide and video about that, because there's so many ways to go about it, and when you're playing at top tier, you have to expect that your opponent will be, messing with you. Is 3 order to charge a must for Harpies? you can get away with 2. Or you could play my free-to-play version, which I'll be releasing soon, which has none, and is doing very well. So you're on a winning streak with the Harpy deck from my website, but you're bored. My qualifier version of Harpies, possible qualifier version, I'm not ready to reveal that yet, but if you're really bored, I could show you my free-to-play Harpies if you want a challenge. Will I stream during the World Championship? Maybe. During the Kaiba Cup tournament, most of my games was played at work in between testing. So that's not stream viable, but if I have free time, if I'm not at the doctor's for my girlfriend or I'm not at work, then I'll possibly be streaming. As soon as my girlfriend becomes better, she'll be streaming with me, she'll be on camera with me. We'll be casting tournaments together, we'll be doing a bunch of stuff. We have a lot of plans. Do I think entering the qualifiers with Victory Viper is a sane thing to do? No, I think it is an insane thing to do. Explain to you how Taya Burn makes King of Games? Take a coin, flip it 5 times. If you get heads 5 times, that's how Taya Burn gets King of Games. What should you do? You are Plat 2 right now at using Taya Burn? I don't know. Keep drooling on your phone. Keep going. I'm sorry for the lack of commentary for this stream. There's just a ton of questions. In future streams, I'm going to be much more focused on the gameplay. If you're playing a pure Relinquished variant, I think you need 3 Karibos. But if you're playing with Sergeant Electro or Harpies, you could get away with just one Karibo. But in this build, I'm playing 3. The important thing about misplays is if you don't do them during important events, and if you just do them during casual duels, make sure that you realize your misplays and don't repeat them. I think the best way to practice at Duel Links right now is stay at Plat 3, win 4 games, then lose your 5th on purpose, because once you get to King of Games, no one cares at that point. While there's not a lot of tournaments right now, because it is very important to join Duel Links tournaments, because you want high pressure, because you're playing casual games toward King of Games. If you've gotten King of Games before, anytime you mess up, you're going to say you don't care. So my advice for you would be to record your own gameplay like you're going to put it on YouTube. That's when you are really going to realize all the misplays you're making, and you're going to play a lot better while you're recording yourself. How often do I toggle off my chains? Maybe once a duel. If I'm tryharding, I'll probably at least every duel. But, you know, when you're playing casual games and you're trying to relax, you're only going to do it at the most opportune times. You're not going to... Trying to mind game your opponent when they don't care either, it's kind of pointless. What do I think about Last Gamble Desert Twister? I think it was good when no one knew about it, because it was a surprise. It had surprise factor. I think it's too gimmicky. Honestly, that's my opinion. I feel Kaiba Man with Last Gamble is a better deck.
This card is useless.
Why do I prefer 3 Sphere Karibo over 3 Econ in my current build? They both have their pros and cons. You know, as you can see in the gameplay, enemy controller wins a lot of games. And, you know, a lot of people rush to use Sphere Karibo's effect right away. Even if it's non-threatening life point damage, they think that it needs to be in the graveyard to get the most use out of it. But with 3 Relinquished, tributing a Karibo from your hand it's a great play, because you could also see from my gameplay that I'll tribute a Karibo from my hand, and then for the second Relinquished, I'll tribute the one in the graveyard that I just used from my hand. So it's 2 Relinquished for 1 Sphere Karibo. What is my win rate against Relinquished with Gravekeepers? I don't know exactly. I would say it's favorably though. The thing about Gravekeepers is because it's so hard to farm for, that actually makes the deck better itself, because not a lot of people are playing it, so people don't have practice against it. It's important to identify all the best decks and heavily practice all of them. Do not stick to just one deck. Play the top tier meta decks, master all of them. Yeah, Champion's Vigilance will negate only inherent summons, so if you're special summoning with an effect, Champion's Vigilance will not work. What do I think about clowns / statues, and have I seen the handless clowns variant? Yes, I have seen it. I think that is possibly the best way to go about playing clowns at the moment. I need to heavily update the website for new decks. Alright, here's my final game of the day.
Duel.
Here's the deck list for the final time, and once again, thank you everyone. This was a good stream, I think so, and I'll definitely do more in the future. Technically it's not my first stream, but yeah, I'm really impressed. Almost 200 viewers. Thank you everyone who came up to this. Thank you Mr. Goblin for modding, and thank you for your donation. Okay, so let me rewind that. I don't know why he used his order to charge. I think that was definitely a bad play. I don't know if that's him giving up right there, but definite misplay on his part. Yeah, you know, setting 2 in the Harpy Mirror, people do it for some reason. Sometimes they benefit from it, and sometimes they lose the game right away. It's a coin flip. You have about like a 50% chance, maybe 60%. I need to do the math, but you have around 50 to 60% chance to have a Harpy in your opening hand. Thank you, Mercurial. I appreciate that. Do I play chess? I used to play a lot with my grandfather. I played a little bit online. Not much anymore. Yes, my name used to be Baya, or something like that. My favorite deck is Gravekeepers, and my most hated deck is what you all hate too. Thank you, Emza. I appreciate the help, and I appreciate your donation too. Comments on the gem situation in Duel Links. I feel like they front load you too many gems at the start, so you know, as long as they keep giving events that give a lot of gems, it could possibly not be a problem. But the whole point of me making this second account is because gems are so scarce. So on my main account, I have a full Gravekeeper deck. I have 3 Magic Drain, some other good stuff, but I don't have any relinquished cards. Without making a second account, I would not have access to relinquished. Alright, that's the end of the stream for everyone. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate all your support. Maybe I'll do this again soon, but I had 3 days of work in a row and 12-hour shifts and a few doctor's appointments after that. Maybe Sunday I might be free. I don't know. So we'll see. Thank you, everyone.